Pinocchio, the story of a wooden boy who embarks on countless journeys and starred in many movies, but where exactly did the boy made of sticks get his start? Well, if you clicked on this video, you probably want to know the history of Pinocchio. And if you stick around, I'll tell you the 3 best versions of the little liar liar pants on fire. Alright, begin. Chapter 1. The Story of a Puppet. Pinocchio was published in February of 1883 and was written by Italian author Carlo Lorenzini, or better known by his pen name as Carlo Collodi. Before becoming a published novel, Pinocchio, The Story of a Puppet, was released 2 years prior in July 1881 as a series for a weekly Italian newspaper. After 4 months of releasing 15 episodes, Collodi stopped writing the story but continued the chapters after receiving much praise from Italian readers. By February of 1883, The Adventures of Pinocchio was released as a single novel, and is now one of the most important pieces of Italian literature. Though many of the future films would take elements from the original story, they weren't quite as violent as Mr. Collodi's original vision. For example, at one point, Pinocchio is hung by a tree by 2 assassins who happen to be the fox and the cat, and the illustrations of the story upon its release are damn near terrifying. Not only were kids fascinated with the book, parents favored the message of the story, which was to be a hard-working, well-behaved child. Chapter 2. Pinocchio the Star. You probably thought that the first adaptation of The Stick Boy was the Disney classic.
Here I am!
But the first was actually a 1911 silent film called The Adventures of Pinocchio, directed by Giulio Antamoro. It was thought to be a lost film up until 1994 when an original negative was found. There was even an Italian animated Pinocchio prior to the Disney classic that had exhausted the film's budget and eventually became lost in time. Only a couple of frames from the cartoon exist. We had Pinocchio in space with an alien turtle as a friend who we call Jiminy Turtle.
Come out of there and let me have a better look at you. Pretty disappointing specimen if you ask me. Travels on all 4s.
A few miniseries that spawned in Italy and Japan.
It's obvious that you only have a head made of wood.
Well, have this then! That's made of wood too!
We can't forget about the ship Pinocchio 3000 from Canada. We had Pinocchio in 2002, Pinocchio in 2012, Pinocchio in 2019, Pinocchio with Tom Hanks, which is Caca.
Fucking thing sucks!
And Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. And that was that. Collodi had created a star. So, which are the best? Psh, I got you. Chapter 3. The Best Pinocchios. Number 3.
Don't burn me! I'm not Pinocchio! Don't make me die! I'm David!
Ha! Bet you didn't think I was going to pick Steven Spielberg's artificial intelligence as my top 3rd pick, did you? For those who don't remember this film, this is the story of an AI who wants to be a real boy. Sound familiar? Instead of the cricket as a sidekick, we're given a teddy bear, and instead of the blue fairy, we're given an alien. Seriously though, this version of Pinocchio is pretty spot on. The family orders an artificial intelligence to fill the void of their son, like Geppetto, who creates Pinocchio because he's a lonely old man. And like Pinocchio, the AI goes on adventures, learns about life, and is granted a wish at the end of the movie. The film has memorable stars like Haley Joel Osment, Jude Law, and even Robin Williams at one point. The film was directed by Steven Spielberg, and the music was composed by John Williams, who's done pretty much all the classics from Home Alone to the Star Wars series. Now, the reason this film deserves to be on the top 3 spot is simply because of its originality of a classic tale. Number 2. I bet you guessed this one, and it's obviously the Disney animated classic. This film was one of my go-tos as a kid, and it's relatively spot on to Collodi's original vision. Not only is it beautifully crafted, it remains to be one of Disney's groundbreaking achievements since they were able to make the movements of vehicles and weather look more realistically. Pinocchio smokes, drinks, plays pool. I mean, what more could you want watching this as a kid? Stromboli was scary as all hell and made for a great villain. Damn, nostalgia. Pinocchio was voiced by Dick Jones, Jiminy Cricket by Cliff Edwards, Christian Rubb was Geppetto, and Clarence Nash was Figaro. He also voiced Donald Duck. But there was one film that I feel blew every Pinocchio out of the water, and you guys probably already figured it out by now which one is number 1. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Hell yes, dude. I was about to cry at times. This stop-motion Netflix film brought out the best of the best. Not only is the story memorable, but it is done in a way that you know this was filmed by Del Toro, and I haven't even seen any of his films up until now. This was something fresh. It's got freaking Filch as Geppetto and Obi-Wan as Sebastian Cricket. You want to add a more sinister taste? Let's put in freaking Hans Landa as the Count. How about we add Finn Wolfhard, Tim Blake Nelson, Kate Blanchett, Ron Perlman, and even John Turturro.
Nobody fucks with the Jesus.
The backdrop of Italy during the Mussolini era was ballsy, and the way Geppetto's son dies at the beginning? Damn, brutal.
I'll make Carlo again. Hey! Out of this accursed time!
The portrayal of Geppetto as a heartbroken man can be felt through the other end of the television screen. The spirits? Some of the best blue fairy depictions I've ever seen, and the scenery? You can tell they took their time to create this beautiful world. Netflix and Del Toro, you get a thumbs up from me for making the film you wanted to make. Chapter 4. Overall thoughts. At the end of the day, I kind of felt overwhelmed with the amount of Pinocchios pretty much portraying the same story. And though I thoroughly enjoy my top 3 selection, I can't wait for someone to come up with a new kind of fairy tale. Something that's original to the core. Will it be me? Will it be you? One thing's for certain. I know this won't be the last time we see Pinocchio on the big screen.